You do?
Or you think it's appropriate that we murder babies and nobody cares?
So we should be showing this to little kids. You're no better than the people that think Drag Queen Story Hour is appropriate either.
So I protest Drag Queen Story Hours.
Okay, well, you realize you're the same.
Same as what?
The same as the Drag Queen Story Hour people. The
How
people
so?
in the middle, you and them, the same.
How are we same? So we murder babies every day. Why are you okay with that?
I'm not okay with it. I'm also not.
Then what do you do about it?
So you think a 5 and a 7-year-old we should be talking about abortion with?
Yeah, they can understand. They can have compassion, unlike you, sir.
Man, you can't argue with
You can care less.
that. I will make a donation to Planned Parenthood in these people's names. I already don't like them because they don't clean up after the dog, but every time I see that, I'm donating to a Planned Parenthood in their name.
You're the reason why I had to show this, sir.
Huh?
You're the reason I had to show this.
What do you mean? I'm Catholic. I don't even like abortion.
What do you?
My kids shouldn't have to see that shit.
So you don't like abortion, but you're going to support baby killers?
Over this, yes. Just to piss you off because I'm an asshole.
Do you use that language around your kids, sir?
I do. My kid's in the back. I have a 3-year-old in the back.
And you're using that foul language around your kids?
Yes, I am.
Shame on you.
So you and I are no better then because you're showing them inappropriate pictures.
So you should stop cursing around your kids if you care about them.
You're not answering my question. You're just changing.
What's your question? What's your question?
You're too stupid to argue.
What's your question?
What?
What is your question?
All right, you and I then are the same. So I'm using curse words in front of my kids, and you're showing my kids inappropriate pictures.
How are we the same?
Apparently we are.
How so?
I literally just said it. Are you listening?
Okay, so you're saying it's wrong for you to use curse words around your kids, and it's wrong for me to show murdered babies.
Pictures. Right.
No, I'm saying it's wrong for you to use curse words around your kids.
Right. And it's wrong to show pictures to kids.
Why?
Because it's offensive.
So
I should have to explain abortion to my 5 and 7-year-olds.
Sir, you just said you're going to give money to Planned Parenthood.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Every time I walk my kid, just
Why?
to spite you, to
Why?
prove that this shit doesn't help your cause. It makes it worse. I am no fan of it. But because of this shit and because of your completely over-the-top behavior, I am now moving to the pro-choice. You realize that you do more harm than good. Frankly, I assume that Planned Parenthood sponsors that because they know that it just pisses people off and people want nothing to do with you. You realize that. You don't help your cause. This is not helping.
You assume that.
Anyone who is on the fence sees that and goes, oh my God, I don't want any part of that.
You're making a lot of assumptions, sir.
I am making a lot of assumptions, and they're based in fact.
No, you're making assumptions about something you don't know.
Okay, well, you keep trying and fighting the good fight, and we'll see if abortion ever becomes illegal.
Sir, do you know the Catholic Church stands against this? They don't. Do you know that?
I don't care.
So why are you Catholic then?
Because I was raised that way. And guess, apparently I'm not a very good one because I'm going to be writing a check. So you pointing out my Catholic faith is not going to change that fact.
So you're a Catholic that's going to support baby murder?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Scramble those baby brains, buddy.
Oh.
Yep.
You're going to teach your kids to support baby murder too?
Yep. As long as they have to walk by that.
So you're going to use what I'm doing to support baby murder?
Yep.
All the blood be on your head, sir.
Well, no, because had you moved your van and had you act like a decent person...
It's not even next to your house, sir. It's not even next to your house. What are you complaining about?
My kids walk by this to school.
Yeah, and their dad supports it.
My kids walk right by this, and then I have to have the conversation. In no world is that appropriate behavior. This is
but you support it with your money.
You're in a civilized society, and you are doing more harm to your cause than you are good.
Sir, what are you complaining about this? You're going to give money to people that do this to babies. Why are you complaining?
Yep.
Why are you complaining?
I'm doing it in your name and their name. Well, I don't know your name, but I can find out their name.
So if you're going to give money to people that do this to babies, why do you have a problem saying it?
I already don't like them. So we are having a circular argument right now. You're not going to change my name, and apparently you have absolutely no tact or class, and you're not going to move that monstrosity.
Well, sir, you should want to look at it if you're going to give money to people that do this to babies.
Reaction by putting that there, and unfortunately, it's not going to be a good one for you. It's going to be a good one for fucking Planned Parenthood. You are not helping your cause.
Another assumption you're making. You really should stop cursing in front of your children.
Just answer me this thing. How many people have walked by and gone, you know what? I didn't support abortion, but I saw that, and it made me think that abortion's not okay.
It happens.
Has that ever happened?
It does happen, sir.
It does not.
Well, another assumption you're making. You're full of assumptions.
You are full of shit.
You're full of a lot of foul language in front of your own kids.
Naughty word. All right, I gotta go to the store.
Sir, I hope your grandkids don't get murdered in the future.
All of my ideas about these people. So,
I hope your grandkids don't get murdered in the future. Yeah, you're being a bad father to your children, sir. You're teaching your children to support baby murder. You're teaching your children it's okay to use foul language.
You're making assumptions about my parenting. So again,
Good parents don't teach their children that murder's okay.
okay, buddy.
Well, what's wrong with me making assumptions? You've made a bunch of assumptions. What's wrong with that?
Then again, this is a circular argument, and you're too stupid to realize what you're doing.
Sir, I hope you'll trust in Jesus Christ because I care about your soul.
I have to believe that Jesus and God look at this shit and go, you know, I'm embarrassed to be associated with it.
Well, can you show me in the Bible where that's true?
That way. All right, buddy.
I'm loving my neighbor as myself, sir.
Do you?
Yes.
Love your neighbor as yourself?
Yes, that's why I do
Okay,
this.
But I'm their neighbor,
Mhm.
and you don't seem to care about me.
I actually do.
No,
I
you
do.
don't. No, you don't. Because I have to have this conversation with my kids. I have to deal with my wife being upset over this. So no, you don't love me. If
I
you
do.
did, you would be a little more empathetic to where I'm coming from. But you're not, because baby murder.
Well, you're going to give mine to baby murderers,
It's the
so.
only thing you hammer. You don't hammer being a good citizen. You don't hammer being anything. It's just baby murder. You
No.
don't care about my kids. You don't care about the kids that are alive.
I do. I wish you stop
and
cursing in front of
developing,
them.
Okay, you don't care about any of that stuff.
Okay, more assumptions.
You don't.
I do
You're
care about you.
literally saying you don't.
No, I'm not. Actually,
You're
you're.
saying why don't you go park this downtown where kids don't have to walk by?
Why are you someone I don't?
I don't know. It's been here the past few days, and my kids have had to walk past it.
Yeah, praise God, because their father supports it.
Good Lord.
You just said you're going to give money to Planned Parenthood, so you should tell your kids your daddy supports doing this to babies with his money.
Yep.
Tell your kids that.
No.
Your kids should understand what their father supports with his money,
Okay,
right?
I will.
Yeah, tell them that. Tell your kids your daddy supports murdering babies with his money.
No, I support pissing off this guy. You will make more than you think of that.
So I do care about your soul. I hope you'll join
You don't
me in
care about
heaven.
my kids, and you don't care about having to
I
have
do.
uncomfortable conversations with my kids, and you don't care about having to introduce topics that are way out of limits for a 5 and a 7-year-old to have to talk about.
Apparently not if you're going to give money to baby
Absolutely
killers.
don't care about those things. You
I do.
not
More
care about those
assumptions.
things. In no world do you care about those things.
Make more assumptions.
So you do care about them.
I care about my fellow man, about my neighbor,
Okay.
and you're my neighbor.
I'm their neighbor,
Mhm.
and you care about my kids.
I
but
do.
You are not willing. I'm not saying, oh my God, you should take that off of the van. I'm just saying you should park it somewhere where my kids don't have to walk by. Why
Yeah.
don't you park it on that street? We don't have to walk
Someone
by.
else will complain. People complain because they don't want to have to look at what they're okay with, what they're tolerating,
I
right?
don't want my kids to have to look at it, buddy.
Why?
They walk by here to school every day.
Then don't give.
Park it one street over, and I don't have a problem with
Someone else will have a problem. Someone else will have a problem. Sir, I can't try to please people because
Okay,
I have to
but
please
then- but then-
God.
all right,
Right?
that's fine. That's fine. You have made that comment. But then do not say you care about my kids. Do not say you care about your neighbor. Do not say those things, because those things are not true.
They are.
They are not true. Those are not true statements.
Sir, what's your problem with me showing this if you're teaching your children that it's okay to support baby murder? What's
I
that?
have young kids.
Yeah, and you're using foul language around them, and you're teaching them that.
Wait. Let's just back that up. So you're saying foul language is the same as baby murder?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Okay.
I'm saying it's not good in front of your
Who's
kids.
worse here? You're showing my kids pictures of baby murder, and I'm using potty words in front of them. So who's worse?
I never said it was bad to show anyone an image of a murdered baby. I never said that. You did.
And you are also unwilling to move it. So different freedom. Any of it?
Why should I have to?
This is America. This is freedom.
Yeah,
You should have freedom. But
Praise God.
we should also care about our neighbors.
I do. That's why I drive this,
People
sir.
in this house don't care about their neighbors. So
You-
I've already established that because
They
they
do.
let their dog shit all over the place. They don't clean it up.
Okay, well you'd have
So
to.
you are unwilling to move that to a street where kids don't have to walk by it. Little kids. I mean, you want to move it to a middle school or high school, that's an appropriate age.
Okay.
Elementary school kids, that's not appropriate. That is not appropriate.
That's your
Do you have kids?
belief.
Do you have kids?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay, so you don't really understand that.
Actually, I do.
You do.
I am around a lot of people that.
If you have kids, you think abortion is appropriate for elementary school kids.
What do you mean?
Let's go down to the elementary school and you can pitch having an abortion meeting at the elementary school. I would love to go see you pitch that meeting. Let's go right now.
I go to high schools.
Okay, no, yeah. Elementary, not high school. First, second grade, and kindergarten. You think we should be talking about abortion in elementary schools? First and second.
Well,
grade?
do you know what they do teach? Do you know what they do teach kids in elementary schools?
What?
They teach them that this is okay.
First and second grade.
Yeah, they teach very young people that transgenderism is okay.
Okay, but if they did that to my kid wouldn't be in that school.
That's good.
That's not okay.
That's good.
And guess what else isn't okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you're no better than the people that want to teach transgenderism to first graders. You're no better than Drag Queen Story Hour. You're no better than that.
But how do you make that judgment?
You are absolutely as awful as those people.
How do you make that judgment?
Realize that?
How do you make that judgment?
Because both of you are introducing things to kids that are not appropriate for that age group. You don't have kids, and you are apparently of a very low IQ, and you are refusing to acknowledge the points that I'm making because you just keep circling back.
Well, I disagree with you on some things. You disagree with me on some things. I think this is sir, it's going to be hard to have these images anywhere where children are not going to walk by. We should be willing to look at what we're tolerating, right?
Maybe that's not appropriate. Maybe that's not the right way to get your message across. Have you ever thought that there are other ways to get your message across that don't drive people with small kids to think that you are wildly inappropriate? Have you ever, I just want you to take today to think about the fact that you have gotten me and my wife, people that are not sympathetic to like the pro-choice or cause, but you have pushed us further away from your cause because of that. So just take today. This is America. I can't do anything about this other than just despise these people even more than I already do. And acknowledge the fact that you don't care about your neighbors because you're showing this to kindergartners and first graders. But just take today and think, maybe there's another way to do this that doesn't hurt your cause with some people. Because you've hurt your cause with these people, and I can't be the only one with little kids that are walking by this, seeing this, and having to have uncomfortable conversations. So maybe there is a different tact you could take that is less offensive, and that actually might do a better job. So just take today. You think about that. You think about that maybe, because I'm really fucking worked up over this.
Another F-bomb in front of your kids. Great job, Dad.
Yeah, fuck. Fuck,
great.
Titty, fuck, ass, fuck.
Great job in front of your kids, Dad. That's great parenting.
Okay.
Great fatherhood.
You're changing the subject.
I'm just saying, I mean, you want to complain about that, but you're dropping all this foul language in front of your kids.
Yep.
Great job, Dad.
You're changing the subject.
Great job.
You're changing the subject.
You want to complain about this, but you're going to drop all this foul language in front of your kids. I'm saying you're not being a good dad.
You're changing the subject from what I was talking. Okay? So I challenge you.
I say that's obscene what you're doing in front of your kids. That's obscene.
Okay. So you're not even willing to consider that maybe this is harmful?
I have considered that over the years. I have considered that.
Have you?
And I've concluded that we've allowed this for 48 years.
Right.
We should be willing to look at it, right?
But you're like the people. So I'm Second Amendment guy. Total big Second Amendment guy. As
am I.
But you're like the people that open carry. Can you open carry? Yes. Does it help the cause? No. Open carry does not help the Second Amendment cause. It makes people uncomfortable and it pushes people more into the box of feelings. You're like that. You are pushing people who were either on the fence or could have been swayed away from your cause. So I challenge you, because that is disturbing and uncomfortable for me to have that conversation with my kindergartner and my first grader. She's at least too young. I don't have to deal with that yet. So I challenge. I just want you to at least take an honest thought. Pray on it. I pray. Maybe you could pray too on this.
What's your name? I'm Nicholas.
I don't care. I honestly don't care.
Okay, well, you're my neighbor. I do care about you.
I actually hate my neighbors. So
I'm sorry to hear that.
But I challenge you to just think about, maybe there's a way you could do this that is less offensive. Well, and that actually doesn't hurt your cause. Because if you do, I am skeptical that you're ever going to find somebody that's going to sway. But maybe you could at least not hurt your cause. So I
wish we'd be more offensive that this is happening to babies and that people are showing it to us.
Yeah,
I wish you were more offended that there are people doing this to babies than that I'm showing it to you.
So, that's a fine point. That is the reality of what abortion is. Abortion isn't just some magical thing that makes a baby go away. Like that is the truth. We should talk truth, but we shouldn't talk it to kids. We shouldn't be ruining kids' experience of being kids. So that's what you're doing.
So should we hide it anywhere where kids are going to walk by or going to be?
Yes.
Then we can't show it anywhere. That's not practical, sir.
So then
it's not practical.
You realize, because I'm assuming you want the government to protect, to enforce the abortion thing.
I want them to uphold the Constitution.
That does that is going to do drag queen story time. And we shouldn't be doing drag queen story time.
We shouldn't be. That should be outlawed too.
Right. We should outlaw this. Well, actually, no, we shouldn't. Parents should have the choice to not go to drag queen story hour, and hopefully the drag queens would have the taste to not go to little kid story hours and read in little miniskirts with their dick hanging out.
Do you know why they do that?
For shock value. Do you know why you do this?
Well, that's another assumption.
You're the same.
They do it because of sin. I do this because God has told me to love my neighbor as myself.
Buddy, I really think you're misguided on this one, and I really challenge you to just take a step back and think maybe there's another way that we could do this.
We can repent of our sins and trust in Jesus Christ.
You probably spent a lot of money on that, but you're not helping your cause. You're hurting your cause.
Okay, well, I've seen otherwise.
Okay.
And I do care about you, my neighbor.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Okay, well, I do.
All right, then if you honestly care about me as your neighbor, and you honestly, love your neighbor as yourself, then I challenge you to really sit down and think about whether, because you've upset an entire household over this, and I am positive. Well, granted, we are the closest to have to deal with this. I am positive we are not the only ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to just, if you really love your neighbor, all I'm asking of you is to sit down today and take a few minutes and think about if this is really the best way to go about doing this.
What way's better?
I don't know. It's not my cause.
Well, then how can you tell me to do something else if you can't give me a better way?
Well, maybe you should pray on it.
I have.
Okay.
I have.
All right.
I've prayed over it for years.
All right, buddy.
And really, I challenge you to think about, you already said you're going to give money to Planned Parenthood.
Yep.
Ask yourself, should I do that if that's what they do to babies?
Yep.
Well, then look at it. Have no problem looking at it then.
Babies' lives versus my value of just pissing you off. I already told you, I'm an asshole. So.
But then, are you proud of being that then?
A little bit, yeah.
How?
I'm a little messed up, so it's okay.
Does it bother you that based on what you just said that's the kind of father that your kids have?
Yeah, my kids have a way better father than most do, and when you're a dad, you'll understand. So.
Well, from what I've heard of you so far, I'm just being honest with you. You're a good dad.
You're gonna call me a bad dad without knowing anything.
I already have. I know your fruits of what you're saying. You know my fruits.
Okay.
You drop so much foul language in front of your kids, it's not even funny.
Okay.
You said you're going to give money to baby murderers, to serial killers. That's not a good dad. These are serial killers.
That's not the criminal justice definition of a serial killer.
People who murder someone who murders a lot of people, that's a serial killer.
Is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you just want to deny it. You don't want to justify it.
Okay.
Sir, if you're going to give money to Planned Parenthood, the nation's #1 baby murderer, you should have no problem looking at it. You should have no problem with your kids looking at it. Tell your kids your daddy supports this.
So we're back to this. All that I've said to you, and I've asked you to pray on this, and I've asked you to think about this.
Yeah,
back to
and I told you I have.
You're not even willing to entertain that. You're not even.
No, I told you I have done that.
Go, you know what? I am willing to think about this. I am willing to.
I told you I have for years.
Okay, but I'm asking you to do it now for me because you love your neighbor, and your neighbor has asked you to do it. So, are your words full of shit, or are your words real when you say you love your neighbor?
I do love my neighbor. That's why I drive this van.
So you're not willing to go take 5 minutes and just honestly think about whether this is the best
I didn't say that. I think it is.
You're not willing to take 5 minutes.
So I've taken a lot. I've taken a lot more than 5 minutes.
Your words are full of shit.
Can you say anything without cursing in front of your kids?
I can't.
Really?
I can't.
Do you really want your kids to grow up acting like you are right now?
Yes.
You're acting like a little 5-year-old having a temper tantrum. Can you act more like a man in front of your kids?
I would rather my kids grow up to be like me than someone who thinks that's appropriate.
A little 5-year-old having a temper tantrum?
Dude,
you're having a temper tantrum right now.
I have kids.
So you're going to justify throwing a temper tantrum in front of your kids?
Oh, good Lord, buddy. I don't even know where to start. We're back at this again. This is a.
You're acting like a child in front of your own kids. You really are.
Are these points that were written out for you and you can only go back to them? Or
I'm just pointing it out.
All right.
You're acting like you're throwing temper tantrums.
I don't actually want to be here. I have stuff I got to do today.
Me too.
Okay. So this is the last point I'm going to make.
Okay.
You say you love your neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
I am imploring you. Go take 5 minutes and see how worked up I've gotten about it. Know that I'm, like, do you think I'm the only one that feels this way? That has small kids that feels this way?
I know you're not.
Okay. So then I am imploring, I am begging you, go take 5 minutes, sit down, pray on it as to whether this is really the best way. If you love your neighbor, and you actually mean that, if you actually mean it and it's not just words that are coming out of your mouth, then go pray on it for 5 minutes as to whether this is really the best way to do it.
And consider, sir, is this really what you want to support doing to babies by giving money to Planned Parenthood?
Okay, I'll think about that if you take 5 minutes to honestly swear to me that you'll go and think about this as to whether this is the best way to do it.
Sir, I consider that a lot.
I'm asking you 5 minutes right now. I'm asking you 5 minutes of your time. If your words are true and you honestly love your neighbor, I'm asking you to put up or shut up.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
Okay. I can't say this was a fun conversation, but I appreciate it if you give me 5 minutes.
Trust in Jesus Christ, sir.